Okay. The principal reason I was saying that this might be a fairly short presentation is that I'm not the lead on this piece of work. It's Julie Guetta, who's unfortunately on vacation. And although obviously I'm aware of this work, I haven't been following it as closely, clearly, as Julie has. So she's prepared a short presentation and asked me to deliver it and perhaps embellish it with my own thoughts. So this is intended to be a survey of the needs of DFSPs. This arose because our traditional stance has been um, wait for people to come and tell us what they need, and then we can review it and probably build it. But we've had to review that approach because it's been quite clear that for whatever reason, potential adopters and DFSPs don't really feel free to come and just tell us what they need. So we took the bold approach of deciding to go and ask them what they need, and so we think that that's actually starting to bear fruit. So direct meetings with representative DFSPs have been begun, and they seem to be progressing well and giving us the information we need. So the objectives of this were to understand the challenges DFSPs face. So it's not just about motor loop, it's what else do they have to do on their side in order to join a motor loop based system, and is there anything we can do around that to help that, to ease with the process. And that's ultimately going to inform the participation tools workstream. That workstream has been very active and has done a great deal of work in creating the tools that we think DFSPs need. The next phase of that work is to enhance those tools still further to make sure they meet the needs that the DFSPs say they have. So I'm sure you'll agree it's radical asking people what they need. So this is how we're doing the study. It's actually in two layers. We're running it across the global south. So people in the US, sorry, we don't really care what you think. People in Europe, we don't care what you think either. So we are doing a general study where we have a form that we're sending to DFSPs, and those who choose to provide information are very welcome to, and we will publish a study based on that in due course. And some DFSPs have been providing that information, and we're very grateful for that. In support of that, we're actually doing some detailed studies as well. So we're targeting a number of countries, and we're looking at the range of DFSPs that are in that country, in each country. We're looking small fintechs, MFIs, major transactional banks. In other words, we're not particularly interested in those banks that don't have customers who a motor loop hub would normally transact with. And we're carrying out detailed interviews with those DFSPs that are willing to talk to us. And we want to bring that general study and the targeted study together to produce some real value. So here's the summary questionnaire, the high level one on the left hand side, where we just ask the organization to describe themselves. So we can classify them. We give them some essentially a tick list. Which one are you? Are you the fintech? Are you the large transactional bank? Whatever it might be. And then the second one is actually quite an important one, asking them to describe their international payments architecture. An MFI may well not have one. Some small to medium-sized banks, we think they probably are transacting directly from their back office, their core banking system in particular. Larger banks, we know, obviously, they have a messaging backplane, which we'd need to integrate with, and that has different implications in terms of the integration, the participation tools that are needed, because we're talking to a messaging backplane, not a core banking system. And then we're simply asking them what experience they have in connecting to an instant payment system. If they do, what were the challenges they faced? If you're still in the process of it, what do you have any challenges in maintaining a connection? And if they're not connected, why not? And then we're asking what type of support would be most helpful? How can we help? And so that goes beyond the participation tools themselves and goes into essentially what opportunities are there for consultants out there that can help with this process. The detailed questionnaire goes a little further, where we, as well as a general overview of the organization, we actually ask for architecture diagrams for their technical infrastructure, and ideally brand names, who provided your infrastructure, who maintains it, etc., etc. And then again, detailed questions about their instant payments participation and separately inclusive instant payments participation. And I trust that people who are on this call understand the difference between the two. So our initial targeted countries are those countries where there's significant interest in Mojib, either current or impending. And so we have Zambia, which has been a target country for quite some time now, and its deployments there are ongoing. Similarly, Togo, in fact, all of them. And so we're covering relatively new deployments for Mojib, not established ones. And there are, as you'll have heard through the go-to-market team, there's a whole raft of countries who are coming up. And if any DFSPs or an adopter in any country is interested in participating, just let us know. You can email me, or you can email Julie, or just reach out on the general Slack channel. So the interviews have been completed in Indonesia. They are about to be conducted in the Philippines, and we are getting support from Ablupe. I'm very pleased to say we're getting a lot of support from Ablupe, and it's great to see them getting on board with this. And we are scheduling interviews soon in Zambia and Togo. We aim to publish a first version of the white paper based on the study results for the next convening. I believe that Julie's already started drafting it, at least in outline, so I'm sure it will be ready well in time for the next convening. Next steps, countries who want to be included into the work stream, please reach out to Julie. Or frankly, if you reach out to anyone in the Mojib community, you'll get pointed in the right direction. If a DFSP wants to contribute and you're located in a target country, then reach out to Julie. But if you want to contribute, but you're not in one of our current 4 target countries, I'll show you a link to the online questionnaire shortly. But bear in mind, we are always interested in adopting other targeted countries beyond those 4, and we will provide updates if this does extend to other countries. And that's it. And I was hoping that Julie would provide a link on those slides, but she hasn't. I will try and find it, and I'll share it in the Slack channel for this meeting later on. And that's it from me, and I'm hoping any questions are not too difficult. Oh, yes. Reach out to Steve if you're interested. Yeah.
Actually, I was going to ask Steve if you're in a position to, if you can provide some more context or add your voice to this, Steve.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Amin. Yeah, and thanks, Paul, for doing this. And yes, I think like I mentioned there, if anyone is interested in contributing to it or has insights into if we're on the wrong track, please reach out to me directly. You've heard a lot about things like the participation tools. I think you talked about yesterday. or James talked about yesterday. And what we want to make sure is that as we build out these tools, we're building them based off of what are actually needed in the market. And so this is going to be one of the biggest research projects we do that is going to influence the direction of the product in the next 6 months. So anybody who wants to be part of it, please do reach out.
Yeah. And I think it's important to emphasize that this is the next level of sophistication in the participation tools, because up till now we've kind of assumed that all financial institutions, they may have different capacity and SLA requirements, but in terms of the actual messaging infrastructure is the same pretty much across the board. And now this is a recognition that some have more complex needs, and we want to be able to support that.